It's Thursday, it's 5:30 Eastern Time, and I know you're here for some Q&A with Leigh Brown, so hello. I'll first off start with the very nice one, because I get to start with the nice questions since I'm in charge of this. And one of my dear people said, loved your live last week. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So much value. Okay. That's what we're here for. So this is why you will submit anything you want to ask, because I'm going to give you the down and dirty and the real answers. And if you really just want to say, hey, that's fine too. All right, so this one said, just curious, what's got you excited right now, personally and professionally? Well, personally, today, my daughter started her senior year. And so what I'm excited about is watching her turn into this amazing young woman who loves the Lord, and she's creative, and she's so smart, and she's hilarious. She loves old people, and I can't believe that I'm lucky enough to be her mom, and watching her do great things. It's got me excited. And then I get to watch my son go into his junior year, and I love watching his leadership. He quietly leads, not really loud and out front, but he leads by doing. And he's so smart and thoughtful and wicked sense of humor. So personally, that's what I'm excited about. And professionally, I'm excited that I feel like for once I'm in front of a change in the market. Hallelujah and thank you, because after 22 years as a realtor, and I've been riding these waves up and down, finally got something on the front edge, and that's my new online course, which we cut right away as soon as the recession talk started. And that's at dominatethis.recession.com. And what excites me about that is I have an opportunity to give back so much of what was given to me, and it makes me happy. Okay, so the next question I got was, what do you keep in your Realtor emergency kit? Well, I should probably admit I keep reading glasses in it now. Thank you, medium age. But my Realtor emergency kit has some things a lot of y'all have. If you're early career and you haven't had the opportunity to ride around and show a lot of houses, because I will point this out, a lot of our Realtor emergency kit things are market specific. And by that, I mean, prior to the last recession, I didn't have bolt cutters in my car. Now I have bolt cutters. And for those of y'all that are now thinking I'm very sus, look, I can talk like a Gen Z. What? It's not a suspicious thing. There's going to be times when you have to cut a box off a house. We found this during the last recession with bank-owned properties, because one thing you'll find is that sometimes multiple asset managers take charge of a house. They're delinquent to the HOA. The HOA changes the locks. They're delinquent to mortgage one. They change the locks. Mortgage two changes the locks. And then realtor number one comes in and gets fired, and you have realtor number 2 or 3. And there have been as many as 4 or 5 little old combo boxes on the house. And once you have all the legal documents in order, sometimes you have to cut them off the house. And so I have had to cut lock boxes off a house. I have had to cut my way into crawl spaces when somebody puts a master lock on and they're long gone. So I keep them in the car, and frankly, you don't always need them, but when you need them for real. Now, also for that Realtor emergency kit, some of y'all are early career realtors, and you don't know what it's like to show 30 houses in one day, and you're thinking, Leigh Brown, we haven't had 30 houses on the market in my area. I feel you. I personally love those days. That's back when we would put a buyer in the car and you could really get to know them. And spoiler alert, you have your car clean in case you can get clients to get into it. And I'm still going to prefer to show houses that way, because when you're able to personalize the experience to your clients, it makes it easier for them to say yes, and easier for you to spot when they should say yes and when they should say no. And I also learned a long time ago from my daddy, if you open up the passenger side doors front and back and let a couple get in, the one that gets in the front seat tends to be the decision maker, and then you've got a little bit of inside scoop based on their subconscious behaviors. So anyway, when you have a car full of people, there's some things you need to know about showing 30 houses in a day. You ought to have toilet paper in the car, because I know you want to say that your clients would only go at a Starbucks or such. Emergencies happen. And I would reference one of my dear realtor friends, but I'm not going to call her name out until she comes on my podcast, Gina Mays Harris, who has the best story ever about showing houses and why you need toilet paper. And I want her to show up on my podcast. So if you know Gina Mays Harris, would you please poke and prod her that she has to come on my podcast, because she hasn't yet and she needs to. But anyway, you just don't know when an emergency is going to strike. I've also got bug spray in there, because if you did not know, bug spray, as in wasp spray, is pretty much like mace, and so it can act as a deterrent to shifty people. Although I also carry concealed, and so I have both depending on the situation. I have caution tape in my Realtor emergency kit, so if I'm listing a property that's got a lot of deferred maintenance, for example, rotted wood on a deck, I'm going to put up some caution tape so that I can prevent other people from dangerous scenarios. I've got 100-foot tape in my car so that I can pull a measure around the house should I need to. I have, let's see, what else is in there? There's a rain poncho in there, which I use that if I'm going to be out in the rain. But I've also got a shower cap to cover my hair up because, y'all, I spent a lot of money on this hair. I want it to look good. And I've also got some granola bars and a pack of nabs. And if you are not from the Carolinas, you might not know that a pack of nabs is Lance crackers. And they're from Charlotte. They're amazing. They're very good. All right, so let's see our next question here. Oh, good one here. How do you set boundaries so that you're not on 24/7? Is this even possible for me to do if I'm a new realtor? Okay, so first of all, don't call yourself new. You're just early career. Most realtors come into this from something else, and you bring a lot of skills and talents to the table. So don't call yourself new. That makes it sound like you're clueless, and many of you know a lot more than other people. Frankly, you might know more than a 30-year realtor who's forgotten too much of what they should have been learning all along. But back to the question at hand, setting boundaries. You have to determine what your boundaries are. Nobody can do that but you, and some of you are workaholics. Just go on and admit that. If you like working 16-hour days, fine. Just tell the public what those 16 hours are. Maybe that is 6 a.m. to, look, I now got to do math in my head, 10 p.m. All right, tell people that. Then maybe they won't call you at 10:30 and you can actually sit down and go to bed, or they won't call you at 5:30. But some of you are thinking, Leigh Brown, I can't do 16-hour days. All right, friend, you just want to do 12s. Hey, and in real estate, kind of hilarious that we act like a 12-hour day is a short day. But you could do what I do. I tell my clients my day is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's very reasonable that you're available for 12 hours, y'all. Too many of you are thinking that real estate is life-threatening. Spoiler alert. This is not life-threatening. It is very important. It is a priority for a lot of your people, your clients, your future clients. But there's no reason for you to be doing real estate at midnight. There's just not. And I get it. That's when you can do some of your work. And if that's the client base that you work with, they like to communicate with you then. Maybe you work an international market. But you can't convey that to somebody else and force me into your time zone. So if you want to talk to me on the other side of a transaction at midnight, you will not get me because I will be asleep. So in addition to setting expectations on your own time, make sure that your clients know that not everybody has the same schedule as you, because we're in a world of wildly competitive space. Tons of realtors out there that all have a different business model. So I want you to start there. Now, if you're a night owl, then you might say, all right, Leigh, I'm going to go with 12 hours, and it'll be 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Boom, there's your number. I am a morning person, so I'm 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And frankly, if they want me at 6 a.m., I'm probably available because I love that hour too. But then you have to tell people what that means. So for my purposes, I'm available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Weekends are by appointment only. And I do take some appointments on the weekends, but I have a little more flexibility there because if I'm handling an out-of-town relocation client, they tend to travel over weekends, and I have to make sure that my time is prioritized based on other people's needs. If you are early career, you are going to be tempted to take every opportunity that comes up. Any area, any price point, any house, any potential client. I get it. We've all been in those shoes. What I will tell you is that the sooner you learn how to control your schedule, the sooner this business won't burn you out and you'll attract the right clients. Because let's be honest, nobody wants somebody who's available 24/7. If you're available all the time, it's because nobody else wanted you. All right? It's kind of like when you look at a bar or somebody that's got a wedding ring on, maybe getting hit on because somebody else is saying, hey, that's a good catch. But then you go to the bathroom. Y'all, have you ever seen it in the ladies' room where it says, no matter how good looking she is, somebody else got tired of her mess? And I changed the word mess, but it's true. But there's something about people wanting what is unavailable all the time. So learn how to be unavailable some of the time. And frankly, you have a spouse, You probably have some kids or nieces, nephews, a hobby that means something to you, a nonprofit that you want to pour some time into. You want to pour some time into your worship and spiritual life. Learn how to put those into your priorities, and suddenly that 24/7, all you have left is 16 hours. That's okay. And if your early career, frankly, the first buyers and sellers that you have, if you learn how to tell them you're only available X hours, they will work within your schedule and they'll respect you a lot sooner. Now, I will tell you that you always get to break your rules, because in real estate, we are entrepreneurs and we do have flexibility. So if I say I'm available 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but somebody wants me at 7 p.m. and it's going to have to go till 8, I have a choice, right? I can tell them, you may want to move it up to 6 o'clock, because I'm kind of worthless at 8 o'clock. It's very true. I'm very tired at that point and I'm not on my A game. So I can let them know that, and if they have to have me late at night and I want to say yes because it's in my market niche, it makes sense, well, then I can adjust my day otherwise, but I have to make that choice myself. And I can say this very easily. In my years of real estate, every time I break my own rules, it doesn't turn out to be a good scenario for me or for the client. It just doesn't. And early career realtors, and we'll tell you this, you're going to be tempted to work on your birthday. Don't give that up for somebody. You're going to be tempted to work on Christmas Eve. And I know all of my old guard are nodding over there on the side. Y'all have seen this too. Whenever you break your own rules and you work on New Year's Eve, you work on Christmas Eve, you work on your birthday, you give up something that's meaningful to you, it always winds up being a jerk who doesn't close. So just so you know. All right, and our last question for this week's live Q&A, I came across your How to Dominate During This Recession program. Could you tell me more about what's inside and who it's best for? Look, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. It's basically how to dominate in real estate, okay? So maybe it's during a recessionary period, maybe it's a depression, maybe it's stagflation, maybe it's a wildly on fire market, a stable market, a flat market, who knows? The truth is that dominating in real estate is more about the systems and the activities than it is about the external markets. So anybody could benefit from this program if you need more structure in your business, if you need some kick in the pants to get remotivated again because your wheels have gotten off the track, or if you're newer in the business and you just don't really know how to get yourself organized to get started, and maybe the lack of structure and discipline in real estate is getting in your way because maybe you came from a corporate environment where somebody had already laid down for you what to do. This will lay down for you what to do, and it's designed as a 4-module set. I added a 5th module because I had some extra things I felt like I needed to say. So it's officially it's 5 modules, but it was built as 4, so it's 4 plus extra, and that's how it's designed. And by the way, one of the best things you could ever do is get this program for yourself and talk your real estate besties into getting the program as well, and hold one another accountable, because one of the things that will change your real estate business forever is, implementing the ideas that you're given in some way, shape, or form. And I believe that is all the questions I received in advance this week. So if there's something you need to know, you need to ask Mama Hen Leigh, you've got a coaching question, you're afraid to ask it out loud, no fear. Just ask me, send it through the DMs. There's a link here in this post. Submit your question. I'll say your name out loud if you want me to, but if you need me to keep my mouth shut, that's actually one of my unspoken talents. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you right here next week.